Hey everybody, this is Randy the Mobile Traveler. We're going to do a little bit different video today here. I'm actually going to be in front of the camera and somebody else is going to be doing the talking and asking the questions. We're going to have a panel. I'm going to pan around and that's all you get. You have to come back and watch the video. See you in a minute.
Hello everyone, it's Glorious Life on Wheels here, and I am moderating for Randy, the Mobile Traveler. He is doing a video today, and we have some epic nomads who are also YouTubers, and they're going to share some experience doing that and also give some suggestions for people who are thinking of becoming YouTubers and talk about the burnout, the challenges, but also the blessings of being a YouTuber. First off, can each of you give me your name and tell me the type of rig you have and the name of your channel?
I am Randy the Mobile Traveler. I have a van.
Okay.
Yes.
And how long have you been traveling and doing YouTube?
Approximately 5 years.
All right. And who do we have here?
I'm Billy.
And Rhonda.
We're Strong's Adventures, and we actually have a fifth wheel and a converted cargo trailer, but we do have a sticks and bricks house and full-time jobs, so.
And how long have you been doing YouTube?
About 4 years.
Okay. And who's this here?
I'm Eric, the Nomadic Fanatic on YouTube, and I'm currently in a 32-foot Class A, towing a little trailer with a Harley in the back. I've been living full-time in an RV for 11 years, been on YouTube for about 9 years.
Okay, and last but not least, who do we have here?
Hey, I'm RV Rebel Girl, and I have been YouTubing since 2017. I travel with my best friend Danny, my little 5-pounder female Morky, in my bumper pool, a 2019, and my new van, my Ford 250 Transit.
All right, well, you know what? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, shall we? And see exactly what the ups and downs are of being a YouTuber. And really the title of this is, you know, YouTube burnout. What happens? Why do you burn out? What can you do to prevent it? Since you, one of the ones who've been doing it the longest, Eric, I'm going to start with you. What would you say are some benefits of being a YouTuber? What are also some of the downsides?
Well, I'll first tell you, one of the first things I learned very early on is make all of your plans very flexible. Because the more structure and the more plans and concrete reservations I make and stuff, the more stress it is to fill those shoes later on in the road. Because when we're on the road, there's not a whole lot we can really control, except for when I can turn the key and where I can go and do things. But I like to keep a very open mind and set very tentative goals. And you know, we just got done doing a big meetup here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of commotion, a lot of craziness. I can't do that all the time, so I do it in moderation. And then after this, I go to the middle of nowhere and collect my thoughts for 3 or 4 days. Every once in a while, I go back home and see Mom and Dad to kind of reset and not think about YouTube. I've even, this past week, I actually lost my traveling buddy Jax, who was with me for all 11 years.
Yes.
And
yes.
I needed to come out here to kind of get a distraction. And I think that's what YouTube and traveling is all about, is not keeping it the same, but trying to break it up a little bit. And everybody here has been really supportive, and I really appreciate all the love, so it's what I needed.
So just sometimes getting away and getting a distraction from YouTube itself.
Just a real reset, you know. I even took the bike out my very first day here, went on an hour-long ride, and I just yelled and screamed and cussed a little bit, got it out of my system,
Yeah.
and then I felt better.
Well, it sounds like good advice. Now the Strong. So what are your names?
Rhonda.
And Billy.
And you've been doing YouTube for how long?
About 3 or 4 years.
And now, what would you say are some of the negatives that you've experienced in YouTube?
Well, some of it, you know, it's just hard to put out a video every week, you know, on a constant basis for us sometimes because we do have full-time jobs.
And
And
as a nurse and taking calls, sometimes it's more than 40 a week for me. And I'm the editor, and you know, if I don't have time to get the video completed, we can't really have that structure that a lot of people do to put something out weekly on a regular basis.
So do you feel pressure to do that every week?
Sometimes, yes, but then he also understands, and I'm sure our followers understand, that when we can't do that, you know, that they understand and it's okay.
So do you suggest as a YouTuber to, if you're going to have a problem getting a video out and you have a consistent schedule, do you maybe send out a notice to your viewers? What do you do?
we do that sometimes, you know,
On the
we'll say,
community
well,
tab,
on the
yeah.
community tab, we'll say, well, you know, sorry, there's not going to be a video this week. We got busy at work. The main push seems like it's YouTube.
They want you to be
They
consistent.
want, you know, YouTube wants you to be consistent, and sometimes we just can't be, and, you know,
Do you think that you suffer in terms of, do you think YouTube won't push you out or promote you as much if you back off of doing as many videos?
We feel that
we
way.
feel that
Do
way.
you?
And
That
kinda
may not
looking
be
at-
true, but
well,
sometimes.
looking at the, you know, the algorithm, I mean, the analytics, you kind of see that with our videos, the ones that, when we can be consistent for a month or so, those videos seem like they get pushed a lot more as compared to the ones when we get behind.
So being consistent on a regular schedule you think helps?
We feel
I think
like
so,
it.
Okay.
yes.
And we have plenty of footage and stuff. It's just that sometimes I don't have the time to sit down and put it together.
Right. And how about you, Randy? You have a channel. You've had one for quite a while.
I have,
What do you
yeah.
find are some of the challenges to being a YouTuber?
The challenges for me is a little bit of both what these guys said. The reset, because things happen in life, you know, and sometimes you can't get away from that. You can't do a video every week. You can't do a video on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and on Fridays. You try. Sometimes I just can't. And then, like they said, the analytics with YouTube, it's been all over the place with me.
Okay.
Because I've gone 3 weeks without a video, and then all of a sudden, you know, everything goes haywire.
Well, I'm going to shake it up a little bit with you, RV Rebel Girl, and ask you, in terms of making videos, do you ever find it's difficult finding content?
I don't usually have too much of a problem with content because what happens is I'll try to be as honest as I can be as far as the ups and downs of my travel. And sometimes things don't work out. I'll be on my way to go bring something to my viewers and it won't work. They'll be closed or there's an issue with the site that I choose. And then there's always internet. I might get to a location that I want to cover in my videos and show people and share with them, and then I can't get internet because it's way out in the loonies, you know, or the signal isn't coming through.
Right, like
with-
here on certain
Right.
carriers.
Yeah, so sometimes many of us have had to resort to using 2 different carriers and making sure we have the capability to do that, or use either carrier when we're in a certain location.
So from what I'm hearing from you is maybe having multiple carriers. From Eric, maybe have time for a reset and be flexible.
And also, just going off what she said, you know, I have a delay on my videos. I oftentimes will edit a bunch and then schedule them for the future. Rather than
Okay.
uploading and letting all 3 go, I kind of space them out a little more.
Right.
And maybe that helps take some of the pressure off also about not having cell service. You can know that they're just going to upload at a certain time, whether you have service or not. It helps.
So having a few videos in the can really takes the pressure
I
off.
think so, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So what are some of your future plans, and do you have goals for how big you want your channel to get? I'm going to ask you the Strongs that.
I think right now we just enjoying doing, you know, we don't plan on it being a moneymaker. We're doing it for fun, and if that happens, that's great.
But yeah, we have fun doing this, and if it's not fun, we're not going to do it. I mean,
So let me ask, so would all of you say the same thing? If it's not fun, it's not worth doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? How about you, Randy?
I agree.
So,
You know, it's got to be fun. You got to love what you do. Because if you don't love it, there ain't no sense in doing it.
all
you
right.
know.
So
And I love this stuff.
Especially with us
Yeah.
working full time, you know, we don't need that extra stress of trying to do it if we don't have time. It's just an added blessing.
So have any of you ever felt so, burned out that you just have considered just actually chucking it and stopping YouTube? How about you, RV Rebel Girl?
No, I have not.
No?
I use YouTube also as a way to keep in touch with my family so that they know. I'm a full-time traveler, and several of us are full-time travelers, and it's a good way to keep in touch with your family, let them know where you're at, what you're doing, and this way they can keep in touch with you and they know you're safe and they can feel a little confident about what you've chose to do for your life. And that's important too.
It is. So let me ask you, Eric, what would you say as far as friendships? Have you made a lot of friendships through YouTube?
I would say that it's led to a lot of friendships. I have a lot of acquaintances on YouTube, but meeting people in person and finding out, how we get along and what kind of interests we share. Lollapalooza is one of those things that brings people together and accomplishes that. But also I have some other stuff. I mean, I do Instagram and I do Patreon, which also helps me build relationships with people that care about my lifestyle, and I would say it eventually leads to some lifelong friendships. Yeah.
So it sounds like you're saying it helps to have other platforms to build the YouTube platform. Would you say that?
I would say that sometimes. It's not necessary, but it is fun to grow those relationships, yeah.
And what about, I'm going to skip over to Randy. Randy, how about you? The relationships that you have built are people you've met through YouTube. What would you say? How's that changed or enhanced your life?
Well, I'll tell you what, the people that I've met on the road, it's amazing. And I met most of them through YouTube. They subscribers come up to you and it gives you a warm tingly that you've
Yeah.
well, maybe done a video that changed their lives.
Yes.
You know, or something's happened to you, then they don't want it to happen to them.
Exactly.
I.e. the fire of the trailer.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people say, what happened? And I want to make sure that don't happen to me. That's great. I've met a lot of people. Lollapalooza, like Eric said, this has been a wonderful spot. I've met new friends, new people. I didn't know the Strongs here. I got to reconnect with Eric. Other people.
I met you
this
here.
Is great. We met. We
Yeah.
met here. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So I'm going to conclude because I don't want to go too long, but I want to ask each and every one of you, for people who are considering, nomads, who are considering starting a YouTube channel, what would your one piece of advice be to them so they don't burn out and that they can keep going and have fun and enjoy it? What would you say, RV Rebel Girl?
I would say don't go into doing YouTube as a job.
Okay.
Don't make it a job. Make it fun, make it something you enjoy, and make it something that maybe you can teach other people how to live this lifestyle through your videos.
All right. And Eric, what would you say, to a piece of advice?
I like that, Carolyn. I going right along with that, I would say make YouTube number 2. Take care of yourself first.
Good advice.
Worry about your own well-being. Take as much time as you need. Enjoy what you're looking at, and then later on, grab a camera and make a YouTube video out of it.
That's great advice. How about the Strongs? What would you say as far as suggestion for people who are contemplating starting a YouTube channel?
Don't get into it because you're going to make the money.
And find something you're passionate about, because if you don't find a niche or whatever, you're going to run out of things that you want to do and share. So find whatever you're passionate about and then share it with the world.
Okay, and Randy, I'm going to conclude with you. What would you say?
Don't do it. No.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll say, you know what? You can cover all these.
Okay.
Passion.
Okay.
Don't make this your first thing, but you got to have a passion for doing it.
You have to love it.
You have to love it to do it.
All right.
But just don't count on the money. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have people that don't, just flat out don't like your videos.
Okay.
Or you.
And that's okay.
And you know what? Like water off a duck's butt. Just let it roll.
Okay. Well, thank you, each of you. We've got Randy the Mobile Traveler. We have the Strong's Adventures. we have Eric from Nomadic Fanatic, and we have Carolyn from RV Rebel Girl. Thank you, and for any of you who are thinking of starting YouTube channels, go out and check each of them out and learn something before you get started. See you next time and down the road.